Hi, I'm Turbo here for Empire TV with Merlini. Merlini, how are you doing today?
Excellent. It's day 5 of TI. Things are getting really exciting with only 4 teams left.
All right, and out of those 4 teams, which do you think has the ability to take it all the way and win?
I think EG is definitely the favorite of the 4, but as we've seen, we've overestimated a lot of the Western teams, so who knows?
Well, anything can happen at this point. I mean, that's the big theme of TI so far, it seems. I wanted to talk to you a bit about the mid-meta. We see a lot of, we used to see more one-on-one matchups, I suppose. Now we see it's a lot of dual laning, like Bounty Hunter will come in. What do you think the state of the mid lane is like right now?
Well, it's definitely evolved a lot over the past couple months. It used to be Queen of Pain. Okay, Queen of Pain's going to win. She's going to get out of control, so you might as well ban her. But now Queen of Pain's seen really low priority, maybe I don't know, second phase ban maybe a lot. And Lina has actually become the most prevalent mid hero. I don't know, it's still a little farmy. It depends on whether you want a mech carrier like Shadow Fiend like the Eastern teams prefer, or a Storm Spirit heavy ganker like LGD and some of the other teams prefer, so it's still pretty dynamic.
Do you feel like the choice of viable heroes that can go mid and actually do well is greater or less than it has been in the past?
Well, it's a little bit greater than the Sniper and Troll period, but overall I think it's pretty good. I think Lina might get toned down after TI because she seems to be a little bit strong and she can't control that many mids afterwards. So it'll probably ease up a little bit after TI.
What do you think about Leshrac? Do you think he's going to, well, obviously he'll be nerfed, but in what ways do you expect that that'll happen?
Well, Ice Frog tends to not revert changes that he recently made, so he'll probably nerf them in mana cost of spells or lower intel or lower base damage, something that maybe lightning storm cooldown, something of that nature.
Are there anything else that you feel is way too this just needs to be changed?
Glimmer Cave has to be nerfed. Other than that, I think it's mostly just Glimmer and Leshrac. Everything else I'm pretty okay with. Gyro and Undying will probably get nerfed a tiny bit, but they might not even be touched at all.
And I just wanted to ask you about the upcoming majors. Nobody really knows about what talent will be involved there. What are your hopes for Valve to either improvements over the international or other tournaments that you've attended? What would you like to see changed for majors?
Well, it's not really. What I'm looking forward to is not how it compares to international, but how it affects all the other tournaments. We've seen how there's a lot of disinterest in other tournaments just because there's a lot of tier 2 teams and the tier 1 teams drop out because they have so much stuff to play in, and the couple months before TI is really quiet because everyone's preparing for TI. So I think it'll ease up, it'll heavily improve the quality of other tournaments because there'll just be only a couple aside from the majors, and you can always look forward to those as opposed to one international a year.
And do you think it'll make team stability a higher priority? We've already heard about Valve putting a trading block.
Yeah, I think it's good that Valve is kind of forcing players to be more stable in their roster. Before it was okay, you better lock in your rosters by May. Now it's oh, you better lock in your rosters by March if you want a direct invite. And now they're just making it far more clear that you have to have a stable roster if you want to get invited.
Do you think that the transfer period after TI will just be accelerated because teams are we have until September 1st to get together a roster?
It's just condensed. I wouldn't necessarily say accelerated. It's just condensed into a shorter period, but at the same time, teams will have way more motivation to stick together because the general rule of thumb is poor results, disband, but now it's poor results, hey, we can still stick together because we can still get invited to the next thing, and they don't have to wait a full year to prove themselves again.
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking this time to speak with us. Do you have any shout-outs, thank yous before we end?
Well, I'd just like to thank everyone that's been involved in Dota 2. It's grown so much in the past 2 years, and that wouldn't be possible without the support of the community. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you very much. This is Turbo for Empire TV, signing out.